Ladies and gentlemen, whether you like it or not.
Yes, I heard about the Nostalgia Chicks video. No, I don't know what I'm going to do about it.
Mistress, are y'all still sad?
Oh, hi Billy. I'm just thinking about the old days.
Is there anything I can do to help?
No, I'll never be truly, truly, truly outrageous ever again. I don't want to be disturbed. I've got a movie to watch. Synergy? Put the compound into lockdown.
Yes, Jerica.
Don't call me that. Greetings, gentle viewers! Tonight's film is from the mythic land of New Zealand, a terrible place and stars a pre-fame and pre-talent Carl Urban. Are you ready for the truth about demons? Well, it doesn't matter, I'm reviewing it. Oh good, the first credit we get after the footage starts rolling is visual effects. Always a good sign. And the font? It looks like the deranged love child of my font and Comic Sans. Okay, you have access to a creepy set. I get it. Move on. They're setting the scene and there's boring. Although I suppose that when you come from a country where the only pastimes are A. Fucking sheep. B. Watching other people fuck sheep. C. Looking at mountains. D. Being in Peter Jackson films. You have a different definition of the word boring than the rest of us. Oh, hello, title. If this is false advertising, you can first-hand experience the false advertising of my pit of eternal delights. So we finally see Carl Urban, who clearly is wondering why the camera took so long to reach him. Sorry, we had to look at every single inch of the creepy set that you had access to. Blame the director. Carl Urban is Harry Ballard, a Ballard who's even less interesting than Bob Ballard, who would turn up at the end of episodes of Sequest DSV to tell us how the story was honestly really based on science. And we're back with the running around. This better be good.
I heard you way back. Your final approach was good though, and I give you points for the mask.
That being a mask just made this film a lot less funny. Pity. Harry investigates demonology, cults, and all those fun things, and his friend here is his catamite, or his apprentice or something. He receives a videotape in the mail, and it's bleeding through the packaging. The paper packaging.
Let me just say, you're doing a great job, Phil.
Hey, thanks a lot. That makes it all worthwhile.
Gruesome, man. Calm down. Pig's blood'll be my guess, just a gag.
If he's been mailed that, then why is the blood still liquid? Blood kind of dries up and becomes brown. I can demonstrate.
Mistress, you do know that'll take a few hours at least.
Oh yeah. Fuck that. So like all men from New Zealand who reveal bleeding packages, he opens it and reveals that there's somehow no more blood on the inside, and finds a video. So he puts it on.
They say there is no such thing as a soul in man. They say that we are animals. Animals groveling in the shit. They say all these things. They fucking lie.
Oh wow, the crazy demon worshipper people believe that human beings are special spiritual beings. Scandalous. And pretty much what every other religion thinks. The cult is basically the one in Faust, but Kiwi and without the keen instinct for orgiastic en masse suicide. The boss is
The dark power from demon.
He's like Church of Satan founder Anton LaVey, as played by Jonathan Pryce's version of the Master. The cult leader threatens Ballard by name, so he doesn't go to the police and instead shows his fear by staring past an African mask and out a window. He then leaves his office. Christ, this is interesting. and critical lift scene done, he meets up with this woman who looks like Jessica from Jack Off Jill if she was homeless and living inside a John Waters film. I'll call her Fabulous, because she is. Fabulous sent him the tape, and it was her blood.
I protected it with a charm made from my own blood.
It's very well protected, except for damage caused by liquid. So she shoves a piece of paper with a message down his trousers because, like all good messages, it has to be kept near his penis.
I feel hot.
Hot cock, anyone? Minions, go to the official Hagen website and look for the page that is entitled, "This is what happens to people who don't laugh at my jokes." That could be you. After bothering a homeless guy, "Othello is the most whimsical play I've ever seen."
Hi.
Oh, the star of the film looked at me. "Oh, I don't sound anything like that." He goes to his car. Unfortunately, someone superglued his driver's side keyhole. There's no time to check the others because this person, who dresses like this, arrives.
Hello, slave.
I don't think they let Carl Urban see that costume until now. What the fuck can I say about this costume, other than I love the coat? It's like the sort of thing that a gay gothic pimp would wear, if he was whoring himself out. Goth Pimp knows that Carl's brother was killed by demons, and gets the rest of his gang to knock him out and put him in the back of a truck. Wait a sec. Weirdly dressed, probably gay, back of a truck, possibility of murder. This is Party Monster! Wide open car park, big truck, costumes like that, with bright neon lights. That's a kidnapping that's sure to have no witnesses. Why is it that film Satanists always look like idiots who've been costumed by wankers who think that Satanists dress like twats? So they drug him and take him to a massive warehouse where they kill people quite loudly. And proceed to chain him up like a dog and lock him in a cell. Something that normally only happens to him when he's attending Lord of the Rings conventions. But because of a mix of manly New Zealand strength and terrible New Zealand craftsmanship, he's able to pull a floorboard up and escape, through a hole which really looks too small to fit a 10-year-old boy. This results in some subtle acting.
Slave! Get back here so I can hit you!
That guy's like David Arquette, beating David Arquette, when you can't afford David Arquette. Of course, an escape attempt means that they have to bring up the chainsaws to destroy the floor. I don't get this. How can this decent-sized evil gang of disgruntled new wave music artists have a whole warehouse for their lair if their reaction to an escape attempt is to chainsaw up the fucking floor? How do they deal with Jehovah's Witnesses? Use thermite in the kitchen? Because they're too busy chainsawing up the floor to just leave the building and grab him, Carl Urban gets to stagger around for a bit and finally runs into Brian Molko, the singer of Placebo, who's now a prostitute.
Well, you have certainly been doing it the hard way.
I thought it had been a while since our last hit single. Because the crew are so useless that they can't even follow a heavily drugged man with a concussion, Carl Urban finally wanders to where he was supposed to meet his wife. The people there aren't pleased.
Excuse me, sir. Are you looking at
Look at that guy.
Sir, can I help you?
What's going on?
I think you might be in the wrong place. Excuse me, sir.
Boys, you're scaring the straights, okay?
Harry? Who's done this to you? Someone call an ambulance.
So, wait, the leader was there, just in case Carl Urban managed to escape and made his way there. Okay, someone doesn't have faith in his idiotic followers. Hospital scene, always the best scene. Just play Left 4 Dead 1's first mission. Urban's talking to Detective not quite Tim McInnery and Detective almost sorta kinda Tilda Swinton. He explains why the fashion parade might have abducted him.
When I'm not lecturing in anthropology, I research religious cults. Generally, they don't approve of my work.
Like
Mistress, they will sue! They bankrupted Latveria last year.
Dr. Doom's a pussy. The doctors confirm that he was injected with drugs, but also say that he was stoned from a joint he had beforehand. Because of this, the detectives don't trust him and he gets a lingering, starey fade. Before he goes home, we see Fabulous eating a sparkler. Then Carl Urban finds out that the crazy goth pimp guy with the occult symbol in his chest who had talked about demons might actually be into demons because the occult symbol in his chest was actually an occult symbol. This is his wife's reaction.
Crap. That's crap.
Quite right, too. He then smokes a joint because that didn't make the police not trust him about his abduction or anything. Oh wait, it did. And they might be sans roller skates, but the cast of Starlight Express still manages to attack. How did they get in? They chainsawed up their own floor. They're not exactly quiet. So they drown him, and because that's not serious, he gets out again hours later and finds his wife crucified and a message that's supposed to be from him written on the wall in her blood. Ignoring the fact that he's innocent and the other evidence will show that, he decides that the best thing to do is run. After all, no one looks more innocent than a running man. Dressed only in a pair of trousers, he's able to check himself into a shitty motel, because in New Zealand the ability to pay for a room is obviously a bonus. He then phones his friend and gets him to come visit him. Because clearly the police will not think about questioning the best friend of a man wanted for the murder of his wife. So his best friend says he can stay with him until he works out what to do about the police, the cultists, and his wife's death. Again, because the police really won't consider talking to him at some point. Unfortunately, within seconds, the best friend has been killed and covered in pretty damn fast-moving cockroaches. Then Urban has to listen to a speech by the villain.
Everyone you loved, gone.
Scenery, my favorite. But thanks to a well-timed train, he's able to escape before the scenery chewing consumes him as well. Fabulous then meets up with him, declares herself his savior, and makes him take a bus with her.
Bus is here.
Come with me if you want to live.
On the bus, she shows how non-insane she is. By saying things like this.
I knew they'd come for you tonight.
What?
Winter solstice. The longest night!
My name is Dr. Hildegard Landstrom, and I am quite mad.
She takes him to her house, inhabited by non-ironic goth Lolita, Richard Keel, and his partner, 60s housewife. Her place is covered in paper, wood, and other flammable things, and a hell of a lot of candles. And with that fur coat she's always wearing, I see a very, very, very brief career as a literal human torch in her future. Luckily for her, she decides to take it off and wears a PVC bra instead, so we can have some misplaced eroticism as she texts for signs that he's under attack by demonic powers. And she explains what the New Zealand answer to Anthony Ainley wants.
Your soul. The soul of an equal. To trade with the demon lords of hell in exchange for unspeakable knowledge.
Like, it's a nice little fantasy you got going here, and hey, I'd really love to buy into it, but I'm sorry, okay? It just sounds like a bad mixture of Aleister Crowley, Dracula, and Mythology 101.
Dude, you just described your own movie and the director can hear you. So, an insane monologue, a sleep, and a nightmare later, Carl Urban reads a copy of the Satanic Bible movie stand-in number 46, which he should really already be familiar with, seeing as he's supposed to be an expert in this shit. Now, the film knows that you've been a good audience, so it's giving us a poltergeist reference.
They're here.
But, given the costuming on the bad guys, I feel this is more appropriate.
They're queer.
The bad guy's pet liquor attacks the room and chases them into the street, but it doesn't come on screen for that much because they don't have the budget for it. What do they have the budget for? Well, a strip club located in Sin City. So, what do they talk about? Bullshit, bullshit, demons, demons, bullshit about demons, demons and their connection to bullshit, and this.
What are memories, Harry? They're just ghosts. Wandering through the rooms in your mind.
You have a talent for making the ridiculous sound probable.
No, she really doesn't.
I've only got one rational option.
Excellent, the police! Oh, Grand Theft Auto. Perfectly rational. What's part 2 of the rational plan? Oh, talking to Brian Molko and looking for evidence about the cult. Also known as the sort of thing the police would do. If you'd go to them. After delivering what should be a fatal beating to the woman in the hair helmet, doing some wandering around in the dark with torches trying to look like an episode of The X-Files, and seeing Billy Connolly in his world tour of New Zealand, they find Carl Urban's wife, alive and working for the cult. I guess this explains why the police never came looking for him, even though his hiding skills put Harry Rizzo from Schizophreniac to shame. And because these people's plan did not include the possibility that the guy who left his house wearing only a pair of trousers might decide to come back to get something, his wife is still living there, ready to get yelled at.
Don't you fucking lie to me! Where the fuck are you going? Come here!
I'm Carl Urban, I'm an actor! Not a mime!
Open the fucking door!
Ex-wife took the whole damn planet in a divorce.
So they talk and talk and talk, and she finally convinces him that he's been drugged out for the last 2 days and it's mostly in his head, which would certainly explain the stupid crap that's been going on. But then this happens. Okay. Where the fuck did they come from? Were they inside the closet? Oh, I doubt it. They probably start to eat the ceiling the second the door was closed. Oh, fuck it. At least they didn't bring the dead one back for headfuck reasons. And hello, massive scissory goodness.
Such a smart mouth.
You got a purty mouth.
Connected to such a smart brain.
I'm not smart, I'm a fool.
Oh, you're too hard on yourself, Harry. You're smart. Like me. You look around you and all you see is illusion. At the beginning of a new century, there are more people being fooled than ever before. They watch television, and that's how they decide what is real. That's funny, isn't it? So much for the age of enlightenment.
What's it smell? Oh, it's the shit dribbling from your mouth.
Oh, point to you, Truth About Demons. So, judging by the guy's eyes, I think it's Carl Urban he wants to be kissing. What's that? You want some more over-the-top acting? Okay.
No love in this world, Harry. Love is just an idea.
Like good.
Excuse me, would you like some gauntlets and an embarrassing-looking superhero costume?
So yeah, that guy is the Sarlacc pit of scenery chewing, a black hole of scenery chewing. Carl Urban gets clobbered in the nuts and they pour a pot of cockroaches into his mouth. Exciting night. My interest in this is waning. Just get to the heart ripping.
Where is this?
Kalima! Kalima! Kalima!
Oh, Harry, you'll die soon.
That might be the most obvious thing anyone's ever said in any context ever. So they leave him to die and Fabulous manages to get in. And they have this moment. Sneaking past is for those with no imagination. Yeah, well, it's better than teleporting in. Touché. Seeing as having a heart is clearly for pussies, Fabulous saves Carl Urban's life by doing a ritual on him at her house. Wait, did she drag him there before he died of having no heart? Okay. So yeah, he survives, and after a quick ritual borrowed from Conan the Barbarian minus the awesome demon creature things, and after a very, very necessary sex scene which finds erotic use for hair, Carl Urban is for some reason better and badder than ever, and because it'll amuse me, I'm going to represent the next couple of minutes with footage from Orgasmo.
I'm pissed off.
To the Orgasmobile! What? My Buick Century!
So, dressed resplendently in his silver shiny battle shirt, Carl Urban bravely lets Fabulous carry the only weapon that they've got, a massive fucking sword, and it's time for the bad guys to realise that no matter how fashionable you're not, you should never mess with mad people with access to a massive fucking sword, even if you've got the Lord of Darkness on your side. And my, that's a lot of blood on the floor. I wonder where that came from.
Well, the prodigal child returns.
The circle is now complete. When I left you, I was but the learner. Now I am the master.
And just so you know, the villain here might have all the powers of the Lord of the Flies working for him, but he's still really fucking blind.
Come back to me.
Ming the Merciless then crushes Karl Urban's heart, which makes him collapse for some reason. Ming then puts on his beautiful white robes, even though he's standing in a pool of blood and his hands are covered in it. There is no way in hell, oh haha, that robe should be that white. And he's about to do something truly terrible to kill Karl Urban when, through lying on the ground, he learns the ability to rip open his own chest and teleport his heart back there, like a really weird reverse Care Bear stare, and the bad guy's computer-generated skinless monkeys jump out and eat him.
Is he dead? Yeah. Gee, wow. That was easy.
I've got a few things to say. I've prepared a brief statement. 1. The guy had a gang of henchmen. Why did only one get killed? Were the others off getting pizza? 2. A teleporting heart. How the fuck did he do that? How the fuck did he learn to do that? And how the fuck did he know he could do that? 3. Skinless monkeys. He had a gang of skinless monkeys. Why didn't he use them? Were they his gang in skin suits? Was he renting them and could only afford them on certain nights? Did they eat his henchmen? And how did you get into that fucking robe without getting blood on it? So yeah, even though the bad guy was eaten by skinless monkeys, Karl Urban gets questioned for his murder because the bad guy was actually a mild-mannered man with a full beard, and Fabulous was his daughter, who has schizophrenia and believed her father was evil because he had cancer, and cancer is a demon. And Karl Urban can now throw up cockroaches. And because New Zealand police don't give a shit about checking little things like the identity of lawyers, Ballard's wife arrives, claiming to be his lawyer, and congratulates him for killing the bad guy and gaining all the powers of hell. She then admits that she murdered his brother, and of course she then gets murdered by him because he's a demon and was waiting for her to admit it before he got revenge for some reason that makes very little sense. And I really wish this film had ended before it began. So he's mad, and in classic would not fucking happen in real life style, Karl Urban and Fabulous have ended up in the same insane asylum, where this happens.
Hey, I've discovered something.
Poor thing. It's dead. I bring life.
This is maddening crap. Usually leaving stuff this open to interpretation makes for a better and more interesting film, but not here. It's stupid, it's hackneyed, it's overlong, it's really, really boring, it tries really hard to be stylish and utterly fails, and it leaves me feeling like I've just enjoyed a long, hard night of anesthesia, with occasional bouts of elephant cock. So in the end, what is the truth about demons? Well, that demons may or may not exist, and that people who believe in them may or may not be insane. I already knew that! Billy, come here!
Howdy, mistress. What can I do for you?
Now go throw yourself in the incinerator.
Yes, mistress.
I'm the Amanda Hagen, and I have to live with that every day.
No.